It is so damn windy and bright today. I'm actually considering keeping my sunglasses on, but that would be very rude. So, welcome to Paris, Greece. This has absolutely nothing to do with today's topic because we are talking about sustainable fashion. But don't worry, you're in the right place. First and foremost, I do want to start this video with a disclaimer, telling you that hopefully this video does not inspire you to buy more of what you don't need. Because the most sustainable item that you'll ever own is actually the one that you already have in your closet. That's just a reality. Buying more is creating more waste. So hopefully you see this video as a tool to inspire you in the future. If you ever need to purchase something new, we all need to purchase sometimes something new, or we also like to treat ourselves to new items once in a while, and that should be totally okay. But looking for sustainable sources to actually buy these future items will go a long way preserving the planet. So let's dive, hair in my mouth. Let's dive right into today's topic, which is laying out these sustainable brands that I love. Yes, let's dive into it with number one. First, I'm going to start with a small brand from the Netherlands, and their name is Aya or Aya Label, and they make swimwear. So first we're focusing on swimwear. And I think their special edge is, first of all, they're a small business. And I think supporting small businesses is something that is extremely important nowadays, even if they're not necessarily the most sustainable out there. The fact that they're a small business implies that they're having less impact on the planet. But apart from that, they're also using regenerated fish nets to create most of their bathing suits. And I believe they're made out of 78% of this material that is made from discarded material and old fishnet, and that is processed and regenerated into something that's called eco-nil. This brand also does well as it's also supporting a small nonprofit that is called Free the Girl, and they offer the opportunity to send back some of your old pieces in order to repurpose them to help these women in need. So I think it's always good when you see that a brand is involved with a nonprofit. I like that they do that. However, you have to be careful that it's not seen as greenwashing and making sure that they're actually implied with that brand, or really involved with that brand. And I actually own two pieces from them. I bought a first two-piece set, and then I bought a second one-piece suit because I love the quality of it so much, and knowing that they were made from recycled fibers really did make me feel better about that purchase in a sense. The next brand that I want to mention is actually a shoe brand. Do not worry, we'll be talking plenty about fashion in this video, but I did want to start first with the swimwear and now with the shoe. And this company is called Alohas. And their products are really high quality. I myself own a pair of sandals from there. And one of the things that I like about this brand is that it is based and manufactures its products in Spain and Portugal, so locally here in Europe, which actually helps them reduce their carbon footprint in the whole manufacturing process. They're also good in the way that they don't use fur, they don't use exotic animals, and they use a lot of faux products, for example, faux snake skins and whatnot. So that's always a plus in terms of animal welfare for brands out there. So although Alohas maybe doesn't focus as much on sourcing sustainable materials per se, they seem to be much more focused on the ethical side of things. So making sure that workers are paid a living wage and making sure that the conditions are good and that they're also ethical in the way that they produce the shoes. One of the schemes that I really love from this brand is what they called fashion on demand. So you can actually pre-order shoes before they launch. And that way, I think it gives them a better sense of the demand for that specific items. And in that way, they can avoid too much excess stock, which is called dead stock, which really sucks when it happens with fashion brands because it's then not being sold. Next up, let's talk about a fashion brand. And this fashion brand is actually a sportswear brand, and I'm sure you've already heard of it because it has a great reputation. It's actually Girlfriend Collective. And Girlfriend Collective is really great in the sense that recycled materials, it's recycling old water bottles, regenerating them into, making them into fabrics, which is still sort of mind-blowing to me that it's possible. But they're using that plastic waste and making it into something that's, again, functional and so sportswear related in that case. But apart from the whole sustainability aspect of that brand, and they are a very strong brand in that realm of sustainability, ethical clothing, what I really love about them is their size inclusivity. The fact that we think that women and men could fit in 6 different sizes is sort of ludicrous. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And Girlfriend Collective is doing a really good job at being more inclusive with sizing. I believe they go from XXS to 6 times XL. So you can see they have a wide range of sizing that could fit different body types, which should be the norm in the fashion industry today. What I also like about them is their ability to portray different skin tones on their websites and also different sizes. The models are, are just looking like regular people and not super skinny white models like we see so much of. I like that women have body hair on their website. I think it's very uncommon to see that, even though it's such a common thing. Everyone has body hair, even women, so why not portray it also in the fashion industry? It's just a reality of today. So I feel like in that sense, Girlfriend Collective is really good at being transparent with their audience about the way that their clothes are going to look on different types of body, with different skin tones, with different skin conditions. I mean, there's women with acne that are on their website, which thank God, like, oh my God, I'm so tired of seeing perfect skin everywhere. So that's why I love this brand, Girlfriend Collective. Third brand is a little bit of a confession here. I absolutely love dresses. I really like pretty high quality dresses. So this brand that I'm about to talk to you about does just that. And there's something about Australian fashion which I didn't discover until the past couple of years, but that I really enjoy. So my style is a bit sort of boho, rock, cross. So I wear a lot of cowboy boots and hats, and I love things with prints on them. I also really like just the simplicity of a beautiful piece that is made out of linen, for example, or raw materials. So in this case, I'm talking about the brand Opia. And so Opia Byron Bay, I think is the full name of the brand, is located in Australia. And they're a very, very small business. They used to produce all their garments directly in Australia. Now, as they've grown, they're outsourced with a family in Indonesia, which they have a relationship with. And so, as I've mentioned, one of the things that I really love about them is the fact that they're using natural fibers and natural fabrics to create their garments. I don't really enjoy wearing nylon. I don't enjoy wearing plastic generally, and also they degrade into microplastics. So the use of nylon in the fashion industry is a bit of a crime. And so I like that Opia is staying away from that and actually using natural fibers. They're also looking to use some old clothes and recycled materials, and they package their products in cassava bags, and they also bag it into a biodegradable packaging. So they seem to have some sort of holistic way at looking at fashion, how it must come from natural elements, how you need to treat the people who are working for you in the right way. They're also donating their clothes scraps to the families that are in Indonesia, the community, so that they can also sell some of these scraps on the markets, which can be valuable over there. So an interesting way to look at sort of circular fashion. The only thing they don't have is a recycling program, but again, they're very small brands, so hopefully that's something they can look into the future, look into doing. But the star of today's show is actually a shoe company that I want to talk about. It's one that actually reached out to me and sent me this pair of shoes, but I have absolutely fallen in love with it. I haven't worn heels in a very long time just because I have very sensitive ankles and I don't generally live or work in places that is really conducive to wearing heels if I'm out in the countryside and whatnot. But when they told me I could pick out a pair of shoes on their website, I actually went for a pair of heels, and I'm so glad I did. They feel so good. And so first of all, let me introduce the brand. It's called Vivaia, I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's always hard to know how you pronounce these brands. But they're really amazing because they use recycled materials to create their shoe. Their shoe is also machine washable. They don't use any animal products. They're just using recycled bottle plastic to create most of the structure of the shoe. And I'm actually going to show you the pair that I have. Another interesting side of Vivaia, and actually let me just show you the shoes now. They're a bit worn out because I've worn them so much already, but they just feel so good on the foot. So they have this fabric on top that is actually 3D printed or 3D knit printed, which makes them very good at having the least amount of waste possible when they're creating clothing and especially creating shoes. Also, I think Vivaia is very affordable for sustainable brands. I think one of the criticism that people can make on sustainable brands is that they're expensive, and it's true. When you compare them with fast fashion, let's say, they'll seem very expensive, but Vivaia has managed to retain a very affordable and interesting price point in the way that they sell shoes. And also on the website, you have the ability to choose your size down to half sizes. So I wear 38.5 in European sizing, which is uncommon. You can't always find these half sizes. The fact that I was able to do that on Vivaia made me very happy because they actually fit perfectly. Sometimes they're a little too big or too small when I go for a full size, but with a half size, they fit perfectly. And they feel really good. They're also machine washable, which is really fun for a shoe. It's good, and that way you know you can keep them a long time and easily wash them. And the best part of today's video is that I actually have a discount code for you for Vivaia. So thank you, Vivaia, for making that possible. My discount code is 15Anna. It's written on the screen right now, and you can get 50%, sorry, not 50, we're not there quite yet, 15% off any item on the website. So hopefully you use it wisely. The pair that I have right now that you're seeing on screen, I will link in the description below so you're able to buy the exact same if you wish. Otherwise, there's plenty of options. They have such amazing flats. That's what I might be getting next. So Vivaia, awesome brand. I'm so happy they reached out, and it's such a delightful discovery to find out brands like these that are really committed to the safeguard of the environment, but still interested in making fashion affordable. However, I want to move on now talking about outdoors brand. And so if you know anything about me, if you follow me my Instagram, you can follow me here, linked below. But if you follow me, you know that I really enjoy hiking and spending time outdoors. So that's something I do a lot. And I have two brands today that I want to recommend for our outdoor gear. Number one is the obvious king of sustainability out there, and it's Patagonia. I think we're all pretty familiar with this brand at this point. If you're not, again, link below in the description. But they're a really wonderful brand because they're very much spearheaded the movement of moving away from fast fashion or wasteful fashion into sustainable fashion. Of course, like they say themselves, no brand is perfect. We all have an impact on the planet, and brands especially. But they're really doing their best, the best they can. They're using using recycled material. They have a sort of circular loop where you can send back your old clothes so that they mend it and then sell it again. So you have that circular sort of synergy inside the brand. They're really good at supporting individuals that are at the forefront of climate activism. They're doing just a lot of wonderful work all around, and they have a very famous campaign where it's like, don't buy the sweater. I could go about it for a long time. I won't talk today extensively about Patagonia because I feel like it's getting enough press, but as a brand that I do want to talk about is actually based in Europe, which is interesting for me because that's where I'm based, and it's called Haglöfs. It's a Swedish outdoor brand that is doing amazing work in that space. I've actually made an entire cinematic hiking film for them in the Pyrenees last summer. It's linked below if you want to watch it. I never know if it's here or here, but regardless, it's linked and it's beautiful. I also speak French in the film, so it's a fun little twist. I am French, but I do all my videos and sort of communication materials in English. But enough about the language and more about the brand. They're very good. They have a lot of really high quality hiking gear, including sleeping bags. The warmest sleeping bag that I have ever slept in. Really amazing. And you can tell their gear is high quality just when you touch it and when you feel it, especially the backpacks. I love my new Haglöfs backpack. And what they're doing in the sustainability space is that they're being very vocal about the fact that yes, they are carbon neutral as a company, but how really to be carbon neutral is kind of cheating on that scheme, because the one way to be carbon neutral is to actually ship off your carbon credits of sorts, or essentially, let's say you're funding a project that is planting trees. The trees are going to grow and actually suck carbon into them and out of the atmosphere, and that way you're taking carbon out. But essentially it's not really you who's carbon neutral, because you can't be carbon neutral as a manufacturer, but you are supporting projects that are enabling you to cancel out your carbon credits. And in that sense, they're being extremely transparent about that process, and they're talking about how they want to better themselves, they want to find other ways to be more sustainable. They're using a lot of recycled material and sustainable materials. So they're being very present in that field and trying to be very much vocal about the whole greenwashing aspects of things as well. So I really encourage you to check them out. Of course, all the brands are listed below in the description, so feel free to jump in there and check them out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you discovered some new brands that you'll look into. And again, don't buy anything if you don't need anything. This is not incentivizing you to buy more, but just to look at sustainable alternatives. So hope you like this video. Give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more from you, and I hope to catch you in the next upload. Thank you so much.